But at the end of the day, people have to deal with people. And as long as you put your best foot forward and do the best you can and look at the guy straight in the eye and say, I did the best I can, you'll do pretty well. This is my latest project I just completed. This is a Massey Ferguson 35X. Now the X donated the fact that it had actually rear diff lock. A lot of the early 35s were no diff lock. So you lift a wheel or spin a wheel and you were stuck. But they were the first to put a diff lock in here. It's running a 3-cylinder Perkins engine. And this one here is actually equipped with a gearbox with a high-low multi-power. Multi-power were one of the first probably gearboxes that came out that had a clutchless shift from high to low. If you knew how to use them properly, they're absolutely underrated. It's one of the best gearboxes in my experience. I was driving one of these back in Ireland whenever I was 10 with my dad, and I would be ploughing with a 3-fire plough in the back of one of these. He would be out the front with a 135. I can recall on the 35X, we used to draw, or what we call haul, potatoes from a rented property that we had, and that rented property was 16 kilometres away. And at the age of 10, I'd have 3 ton of spuds on a trailer. Dad would have blocks on the pedal. He'd have the seat raised a bit. He'd have his jacket on with a piece of wood across the shoulders and a big old farm coat and a hat on. And I would drive through town. We would go through a town called Ballymena with 3 sets of traffic lights back in those days. And we're talking probably 1967 now. And he would always make sure he got in front. Whenever the lights turned to red, he'd stop and go up slow so we'd actually both be able to take off and would not leave me on my own to take off. You can probably see where the blood of tractors comes to me. As I was actually probably born in one of these. We used to plant spuds, and they had a 2-row planter on the back of the tractor. So you'd have one person driving the tractor, you'd have 2 people each side of the spud planter, and they'd be dropping the potatoes in, and there'd be a bell go ding, 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 ding. And my sister and I, we would be sitting on the bench seat tied behind us here, and it wouldn't matter what the weather was like. If the tractor was going and the spuds had to be planted, we were with the tractor, we were planting spuds. So if I'm a bit hard of hearing, you can probably imagine it had a bit to do with that in those days. Driving tractors around, no earmuffs. That was, never thought about earmuffs in those days. Honest to God, if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't be wearing hearing aids. But that was life, and now we have to adapt for our folly of not taking care of ourselves.